to the Executive Protection and Secure Transportation Podcast. The podcast is provided by the International Security Driver Association, where every week we share secure transportation and executive protection headlines, news, trends, and educational content for today's practitioners. Hello, and welcome to episode 201 of the EPST podcast. I'm your host, Larry Snow, president of the International Security Driver Association. With all the inherent risks security drivers and secure transportation service providers face on the road, there is none more so than road rage or aggressive driving. So today, we are talking all about road rage, what it is, how to avoid it, and some interesting statistics that show the impact of road rage. So let's start with the basics. What exactly is road rage? Everyone has had a moment of frustration while driving, whether it be due to traffic or the poor decisions of other drivers. That flash of anger can easily ruin our day. But for some, that anger lasts much longer than an instant and can lead to some disastrous consequences. According to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, aggressive driving is the operation of a motor vehicle in a manner that endangers or is likely to endanger persons or property, while road rage is an assault with a motor vehicle or other dangerous weapon by the operator or passengers of one motor vehicle or precipitated by an incident that occurred on a roadway. The American Automobile Association indicates that road rage is often started over trivial things. You honked your horn too much, or maybe not at all. You took or wanted to take a parking space someone else had their eye on, or maybe you committed the mortal sin of slowing someone down, or inadvertently did something that wasn't in the best interest of automotive safety, cut someone off, zigzagged in and out of traffic, or tailgated because you were in a hurry, or just not paying attention. About a third of crashes can be linked to road rage behaviors such as speeding, changing lanes without signaling, tailgating, and illegal maneuvers. So let's share some stats here. Some 95% of drivers say they observed road rage or aggressive driving in the past year, but only 64% of drivers admitted to doing it, according to a 2021 survey from the insurance comparison website, The Zebra, that researches the driving community's topics. Nearly half of the drivers that were surveyed said that they've changed their driving habits since the start of the COVID-19 pandemic. But while people may be driving less, they're getting more frustrated with other drivers on the road than ever before. 1 in 5 drivers say they experience more frustration behind the wheel. More than half of the drivers said that the highway or freeway is where they are most likely to experience frustration. 63% of drivers surveyed said distracted drivers cause them the most anger or frustration while on the road. One very interesting statistic from the Zebra survey is that 1 in 4 drivers admits to keeping a weapon or safety device in their vehicle. While the survey doesn't say exactly why drivers feel a need to travel quote-unquote armed, perhaps it's in case they feel the need to protect themselves from another motorist. For example, in Florida, 35% of drivers said they keep a weapon or safety device in their vehicle compared to 34% of California drivers and 28% of Texas drivers. In Florida, the most carried weapon is a gun versus pepper spray in Texas and a knife in California. A 2006 study of aggressive drivers by researchers from the Harvard Injury Control Research Center found that drivers with a firearm in their vehicle may be more prone to anger and more likely to engage in aggressive driving than those who did not have a gun. Across all demographics and regions, gun carriers were more likely to make obscene gestures at all other drivers, aggressively follow them, or both, the study concluded. Mary Vriniotis, a Harvard researcher who worked on the road rage study, said that the drivers who feel slighted or endangered may feel the need to react quickly or miss their opportunity, a perspective that can cause a conflict to quickly escalate. The Zebra survey also explores triggers that put drivers into a stressful emotional state. The top cause of anger and frustration behind the wheel is distracted driving on the part of other drivers, with 63% of respondents citing it as compared to just 42% in 2019. While speeding is considered aggressive, drivers are more frustrated by people going too slow, with 46% citing it as an annoyance versus going too fast. So who exactly commits road rage? According to the American Automobile Association, road ragers are mostly poorly educated males between the ages of 18 to 26 with criminal records. They have histories of violence, drug abuse, or alcohol problems, and many have suffered emotional or professional setbacks. In studies of anger and aggressive driving, counseling psychologist Dr. Jeffrey Diefenbacher of Colorado State University found that people who identify themselves as high anger drivers differ from low anger drivers in 5 key ways. They engage in hostile, aggressive thinking. They're more likely to insult other drivers or express disbelief about the way others drive. Their thoughts also turn to more often to revenge, which sometimes means physical harm. 2. They take more risks on the road. High anger drivers are more likely to go up 10 to 20 miles per hour over the speed limit, rapidly switching lanes, tailgate, and enter an intersection with the lights turned red. 3. High anger drivers get angry faster and behave more aggressively. They're more likely to swear or name call, yell at other drivers, to honk in anger. And they're more likely to be angry not just behind the wheel, but throughout the day. 4. High anger drivers had twice as many car accidents in driving simulations. They also report more near accidents and get more tickets for speeding. And 5. Short fuse drivers experience more trait anger, anxiety, and impulsiveness. Perhaps from work or home stress, high anger drivers are more likely to get in the car angry. They also tend to express their anger outward and act impulsively. Many impatient drivers set themselves up to be victims of road rage. They take risks on the road, which can lead to aggressive driving, which can lead to disputes, which can escalate into road rage. You may become enraged yourself, sick and tired of dealing with aggressive drivers who are jerks or idiots, who have an intelligent quotient of a styrofoam cup. They can get you heated up and make you lose your patience, make you do things and take risks you normally wouldn't. According to a driver's ed report, about half of the drivers admit to aggressive driving after another driver has done it to them. The most common responses are horn honking, light flashing, rude gestures, and shouting. No one likes getting cut off or feeling the pressure of a tailgater that makes the road less safe. However, you don't want to add to the problem by becoming one of those drivers yourself. So here's some things to do and don't do to avoid or deal with road rage. The general rule is to avoid all conflicts. If another driver wants to get by, let him pass. If she wants a parking space, let her have it. Consider it a contribution to your favorite charity. If another driver challenges you, don't challenge back. Let him go. Here are some suggestions from the AAA, and then some on how to avoid and deal with road rage. Don't take traffic problems personally. Believe it or not, traffic is not an organized conspiracy to prevent you from being on time. Do give yourself enough time to get where you're going. Don't automatically assume other drivers' mistakes are purposely aimed at you. If a driver has done something stupid to you or simply made a mistake, do not return the favor. In other words, don't have a contest to see who is the dumbest. You may just win. Avoid eye contact with aggressive drivers. It only encourages them. If an aggressive driver makes an obscene gesture, do not make one or two back at him. Although it may be incredibly gratifying, it brings you to his level and can escalate the situation. If an aggressive driver pursues you, do find the nearest police station. Be careful about using your horn as a method of communicating. Even a friendly honk can be misinterpreted. Don't honk excessively. Don't use your high beam headlights unnecessarily. If you drive slowly, do pull over and let people pass you. Don't block the passing lane no matter how fast you're going. There will always be someone who wants to go faster. Don't switch lanes without signaling first. Avoid blocking the right-hand turn lane. Don't tailgate. Don't take up more than one parking place. Don't allow your door to hit the car next to you when you're exiting your car in a parking lot. Don't inflict your loud music on nearby cars. And lastly, although it can be hard sometimes, try to be polite and courteous on the road, even if another driver is acting like an idiot. That'll do it for me this week. Thanks so much for listening to this episode on Road Rage. If you have done so already, be sure to subscribe to the podcast from your favorite podcast apps so you won't miss future episodes. Links to all the Road Rage survey data mentioned in this episode are available at securitydriver.com/podcast. Then click on episode 201. We welcome any comments, feedback on the podcast, or topics that were discussed. If you have an interest in going much deeper into these types of topics, I invite you to check out the International Security Driver Association's website and consider joining the membership to gain access to the Encyclopedia of Executive Protection and Secure Transportation, the ISDA Knowledge Center. For more information on all the member benefits, head on over to isdacenter.org.